Hello, everyone, and welcome to Counter Error Feature Friday. I'm your host, Brian Urban. In these features, we hope to give you some simple tips, tidbits, and tricks to make your days easier and your patients happier. In this feature, we're going to talk about barcode scanning. So pretty straightforward, right? The ability to use a handheld barcode scanner to get serial numbers of hearing instruments in the proper place very, very quickly and, of course, very, very accurately. Now, we're starting here in a test page. I'll show you how to navigate to this in just a little bit, but just first want to talk a little bit about the barcode scanner options themselves. Really, you can use any barcode scanner that you like. If you already have one on hand, great. If you're looking to purchase one, really you just want to focus on getting one that is a 2D barcode scanner, whether it is corded or wireless, whatever works best for you. We do link to one that we used in testing, one of the devices we used in testing, but this is by no means exclusive. You can really use any barcode scanner that you like, and of course go to this test page and you can check and see if it works. So what I'm going to do is show you this test page first here, then we're going to go and show how you would add a serial number or serial numbers into a patient profile, how you do so within loaners, and then last but most certainly not least, we're going to show how to rapidly add serial numbers for stock devices. So if you purchased 10 or 15, how you can very quickly go through and add those devices. Okay, so we'll start off in this test page very simply. Wherever you want the serial number to go, you would click in that box and then go ahead and scan. There you go, pretty straightforward. The barcode scanners that we've seen have really been plug and play, so there's no sort of like software you have to download for this. You simply would plug it in or connect it to your device through a dongle if it's wireless, and you start scanning. Pretty easy, okay? So let's jump into a patient profile. Now, what I'm going to do first, like I said, is show you how to add the serial numbers for a device, and then we'll move on to loaners and stock. When you're adding serial numbers for a device, or a serial number for a device, I should say, you can go through the device profile directly. You could also obviously go through the invoice, edit the line item, and scan in that way as well. But typically, probably the most convenient workflow is just to go into the device itself, click in the serial number field, and go ahead and scan. Right, pretty straightforward. Of course, you can add more information if you like. We now have our serial number in place. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Same thing if we talk about loaners. So let's go ahead and jump to the loaner device area. You can certainly add devices, or typically this would be an adding process. So let's just grab one here randomly. We'll click on the serial number area, and we're going to go ahead and barcode scan in the serial number. Right, pretty straightforward. Now, when we extend this to adding in stock, what I'm going to do is I will jump to the dashboard just as a quick method for getting into stock-enabled device. You can certainly go through administration and then line item list, and this is where you would go in and find the specific line item, go to the stock tab, and you could add it that way. Also, you can go through the dashboard. It gets you to the same place. So here we have a device. It is stock-enabled. So that's already enabled for this device, which means there is a stock tab available. Just as a quick note, if you're ever looking at a device, you do not see a stock tab, that means that the managed stock needs to be checked. So you check it, save, you would then kind of re-edit, you hit the edit button next to that device again, and you will then see the stock option. Okay, of course, at any time with stock, you can add one by one, right? So if you do so, if you add one, you go ahead, click here, scan in the device. Okay, or scan in the serial number, sorry. But very commonly, and this is probably the main use or main need for barcode scanners, is to say, hey, let's do a bulk import. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that we need 3, right? Not on a huge quantity here, but just to keep it simple. You can add in as many details as you want, of course. Let's put in return for credit there. You can put a custom retail price if you want, but you don't have to. If you keep it as 0, it'll keep the original price that's in your line item list. So I'll do that. I'll just keep it at 0. And of course, if your cost of goods is modified because you purchased in bulk, you absolutely can change that on the fly. I'm going to go ahead, and then of course you can enter your color as well. So let's just go ahead and say that these are blue. All right. Now at this point, because we're going to be adding 3, we would not scan in the barcode at this point, right? So we would then go to next, which is then going to show us, in this case, 3 entries. Now you could have devices go to different clinics. So you could click, and in this case we only have one clinic enabled, but if you have multiple locations, you could say device 1 is going to clinic A, device 2 is going to clinic B, and device 3 is going to clinic C. right? So you can pick and choose. But ultimately, when it comes to adding the serial number, what you're really just going to do here, of course, once again, is click into the box and scan, right? Pretty straightforward. I'll go ahead and just do that again for these. Now it came up with the same serial number, so I'll go ahead and modify that. And we'll do that one more time. Okay. Once again, just saves you the effort. You would just click, click, click. You notice the cursor advanced to the next field. So if you have the boxes lined up, you're just going through the list very, very quickly. Okay. Then, of course, we click Save. That shows us the 3 units were successfully imported. And of course, I should note this does not have to be just for hearing aids. This can be any device, anything with a serial number. Okay. But now we can see that we have those 3 devices are currently in stock. So there are the 3 that we just added a moment ago. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, I promised I'd show you where the test page is. The test page is available here where I clicked on bulk import. Up in the top menu bar, there is the ability, in the next window. So once we get the information into here, we're going to go to the next window, and there is a link here that says get more information. So in the right when you're getting ready to scan in those stock devices, you have the ability to click more information or get more information, and that will take you to the test page. Okay. Of course, test this out. That's the best way to determine if your scanner works. There's really no reason it shouldn't, but this is a great way to check it out. All right. So, of course, if you have any questions about how barcode scanning works, or if we can help you in any way, give us a call, email us, live chat us. We are always happy to help. Thank you very much for joining us for today's Counselor Ear Feature Friday. And as always, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.